Welcome all of you. Today I am presenting on types of fruits which is very useful to UG students of science faculty. I am Dr. Ashok Tuwar from Arts, Commerce and Science College Sunai presenting this video. All of you, I request to all of you like this video, subscribe this video and share it. Types of fruits. The definition of fruit. The fruit is the seed-bearing structure of the angiosperm plant developed after the fertilization by the ripening of the ovary. Basically, the fruits are of two types. First type is true fruits and second type is false fruit. The true fruits are which developed from the ovary and its inner structure, that is no part other than the ovary has taken a share in its development. For example, Mangifera indica. Mango is one of the example. Then the second type is false fruit or pseudocarp. The fruit develop from the ovary together with some other organs that develop along with it for its protection and nourishment or dispersal. For example, apple. Based on the structure and organ, the fruits are of three types. These are simple fruits, aggregate fruits, multiple fruits. First type of the is simple fruit. The fruit is developed from single ovary of a single flower. It is of two types, that is dry fruits and fleshy fruits. Dry fruits. The pericarp of fruit cracks or dehisces at the time of maturity. Dry fruits are of again two types, dehiscent fruits and indehiscent fruits. The types of dehiscent fruits. Legume or pod. First type is legume or pod. The fruit developed from monocarpellary superior ovary. At maturity, fruit split along both the sutures, generally with a sudden jerk to disappear its seeds. The seeds developed on marginal placenta, for example, Pisum, Acacia, Pisum sativum, that is P. Second type is follicle fruit. The fruit developed from the single carpel and split open along only one structure, only one suture. The seeds dehisce after the maturity of the fruit. For example, Calotropis. Calotropis procera is one of the example of follicle fruit. Then third and important type of dry fruit is capsule fruit. Capsule type. The fruit developed from the superior or inferior syncarpus ovary with two chambers. The chambers may fuse together by supersession of middle septa, which split open to release the seeds. Capsule fruits varies based on the mode of splitting of the septa and release of seeds. For example, datura. Then types of dry indehiscent types of fruits. These are also important. First type is achin. The fruit are small one-seeded, developed from superior monocarpellary ovary. The pericarp of the fruit and testa of the seed remain free from each other For example, Ninumba. Second is Caryopsis. Second type of dry indentation fruit is Caryopsis. The fruit also developed from simple monocarpellary superior ovary, but the pericarp of the fruit and the testa of the seed fused together and are inseparable. For example, maize. Third type is Cypsela. The fruit developed from the bicarpellary means two carpels, syncarpus means united, single chambered, and inferior ovary with solitary basal ovule. The pericarp and the testa of the fruit remain free from each other, and their example is sunflower. Then second type and main type is simple fleshy fruit. Simple fleshy fruit means the fleshy fruit are characterized by the producing soft and fleshy pericarp. When ripe, the pericarp of the fruit are generally three-layered. Epicarp, it is the outermost fruit wall, which is generally leathery and colored. Second layer is mesocarp. It is the middle layer of the pericarp, which is fleshy, pulpy, or fibrous. And third layer is endocarp. It is inner layer, or it is innermost layer of the pericarp, which may be leathery, membranous, or stony. There are two main types of fleshy fruits. First type is drupe and second type is berry fruit. First type, drupe fruit. The fruit developed from single seeded mono or syncarpus superior ovary. The fruit consists of outermost leathery colored epicarp, pulpy fleshy or fibrous mesocarp, and hard stony epicarp, and this that surrounds the seed. The seed coat may be very thin. For example, mango, coconut. Then second type is berry or beca. The fruit developed from syncarpus superior or inferior multi-chambered ovary. The fruit are soft with leathery colored epicarp. The fruit contain many seeds scattered in the fleshy tissue of fused mesocarp and the epicarp of the pericarp. Then types of berry fruit. First type is pepo. The fruit is developed from one chambered syncarpus inferior ovary with partial placentation. The seeds are attached to the inner wall of the epicarp and scattered in the fleshy tissue of the mesocarp. For example, cucumber. Second type is Hesperidium type of fruit. The fruit developed from the superior mini-chambered syncarpus ovary with axial placentation. The endocarp of the fruit project inward, forming separable chambers in which unicellular juice develop from the endocarp. The epicarp and the mesocarp of the fruit unite to produce the skin, or it is the skin of this is also called as rind of the fruit, and the example of this fruit is citrus, orange, etc. The types. First type is Amphisaraca. This fruit also developed from the superior many-chambered syncarpus ovary with axial placentation. The epicarp of some portion of mesocarp becomes stony and hard. The remaining portion of the pericarp along with the placental tissue from a soft and pulpy mass and testa of the seed become mucilaginous. Eagle marmalose and Feronia elephantantum are the example of Amphisaraca. Second type is pome. The fruit develop from inferior syncarpous multi-chambered ovary where the actual fruit remain surrounded by fleshy thalamus, for example apple. Then third type is berry proper. The fruit develop from superior syncarpous multi-chambered ovary with axile placentation. The placental tissue become fragile and may be fused with fleshy and pulpy meso and endocarp. The pulpy mesocarp and swollen placenta are the edible part of the fruit. The seeds are scattered inside the pulp of the fruit, for example, tomato, brinjal, etc. Then next type is second type is aggregate fruit. The fruit when developed from many apocarpous ovaries of the single flower, such fruit are called as etario or aggregate type of fruit. The collection of simple fruit, that is fruitlets, borne by the single flower are also known as etario. Then there are types of aggregate types fruit. First type is etario of follicle and second type is etario of berries. First type, etario of follicles. In this fruit, each fruitlet is follicle type and borne on an elongated thalamus. Thus, a branch of follicle develops from apocarpous ovules, for example, Michaelia champaca. And second type is etario of berries. A bunch of berries develop from the apocarpous ovaries. The common rind of the fruit is formed by the fusion of apices of the individual berries. For example, custard apple, that is Ananas squamosum. In Marathi, it is called as sitafal. Then artravotris, hirva chafa. Then third and important type is composite or multiple fruit. All the flowers of an inflorescence leads to the development of the multiple or composite fruit. Multiple fruit are also known as infructescence. The multiple or composite fruit are of two types. First is psoriasis and second is synchronous. First, psoriasis. This type of multiple fruit develop from the spadix or catkin inflorescence. All flowers grown around the thick central branches produces the psoriasis type of fruit. The bracts, perianth, and all other part of the flower become fleshy and juicy and form a part of fruit. The tough rind of fruit is formed by the fusion of the bracts and apices of the flowers, while the spines or the rind represent the stigma of the carpels. The seeds and the juicy perianth are the edible part of the fruit in annas, that is pineapple. The inflorescence axis become thick, fleshy and hypertrophied and envelop the flowers completely, except floral bracts. Each polygonal area on the fruit surface represent the flower, the axis of the inflorescence along with the empty bracts from the crown of leaves at the apex of the fruit. For example, pineapple. And second type is synchronous. The fruit is formed from the entire hypanthodium inflorescence in figure of ficus. Hollow pear-shaped receptacle encloses the female fleshy flowers at the base from small achene. The opening of the fruit is called as ostiole, which is surrounded by the scales. The entire receptacle along with the tiny flowers become the edible part of the fruit. For example, the ficus. Thanks.